Give me a second. Okay, let me sit down. The fat boy is back. Nah. But on a serious note, let's get y'all caught up to date with some relevant talk about boxing. Bernard Hopkins quietly is trying to work on a deal, a 3-fight deal with Don King Promotions. You've been hearing to talk about it, so let's get into it. One of those fights is Trinidad Hopkins 2. The other fight is David Haye. Now, the issue is, do Don King want to use his option that he has with David Haye when he gave him the WBA title by letting him fight the 8-foot freak? So, once he did that, now he has Don as an option, but Don may want to save his option for a Klitschko fight rather than Hopkins Haye. But dollars make sense, so we'll see what happens with that. But the Felix Trinidad fight is the more intriguing fight. What the third fight could be, I have no idea. But the Trinidad will only come to fight two people, Oscar De La Hoya or Bernard Hopkins. But even, that's another thing, I won't even bring it up. So, for those two names right now are the only people who have the option of fighting Felix Trinidad. Trinidad has been contacted about Bernard Hopkins coming over and a fight happening sometime next year. So, the issue is the money. Felix Trinidad has an exclusive contract with Don King Promotions. He cannot get any less than $10 million for any fight that he does. So, with that being said, it's kind of hard to negotiate with Felix Trinidad to get him to come down in price because his money's already locked and etched in stone. With Bernard Hopkins, he wants a lion's share of money, but now, since he's older in age, he might come down off of it. I doubt it, but he's going to feel a little threatened to, having Trinidad making more money than him. Or he's going to want parity. And that means you got to try to find $20 million in the fight. You're looking at a pay-per-view that might do $500,000. So it's like you make no money off the fight if you're the promoter. So somebody's going to have to come down on price somewhere they can come up with an agreement. In case you wonder what I'm doing right now is I'm doing my usual get in shape. Summer's coming. So I'm always in tip-top shape when it comes to summertime for those people who just believe I'm fat. That's funny. But more news. You probably want to hear some Mayweather news when you see me. That's who you guys want to hear about the most. Floyd Mayweather, Manny Pacquiao, what's happening right now? In case you haven't heard, Bob Arum stated that they won't be holding any pretty much like press conferences until this whole thing is done. No media getting bits and pieces of what's going on behind the scenes. This whole thing is going to be negotiated closed door. When it's closed door, meaning that there'll be no talk in the press. He's not going to bash Floyd Mayweather. None of this stuff is going to happen. They're going to hammer out a deal and try to get this fight going in November. Because Ross Greenberg is tired of playing games on both sides. So they will agree to a random blood test, but they want a reasonable cutoff date. That seems to be the only thing holding this fight up. So far, Mayweather hasn't said he's going to budge on the 50-50. With the parity, he's kind of like still, even though his pay-per-view doubled Manny Pacquiao's pay-per-view, so far his camp hasn't stated that they wanted to change the money. They're willing to do parity if they're willing to bend in more on this pay-per-view. On the cutoff date. If the cutoff date becomes a problem, and if they want what they want, the parity is non-existent. Floyd's going to demand more money, and he's rightfully able to do so. Then we have a problem because Aaron will pull out and then do the fight with Margarito. Then Floyd Mayweather say fine and do his fight with Sergio Martinez. So this time Floyd Mayweather has a bargaining chip in his back pocket, because actually his fight with Sergio Martinez would do bigger numbers than Pacquiao Margarito. Now, Vasquez-Marquez is a fight that boxing fans want to see more than anything, because this is the fourth time these guys are going to collide. And then this fourth time, this is for all the marbles. Israel Vasquez is the strongest fighter at that weight class. Clearly his endurance level is higher. Marquez can win only if he boxes and stay away. His problem is he's a boxer fighter. He likes to stand flat-footed and engage. And he cannot take Vasquez punches as well as Vasquez can take his. And once I saw that, I started making money off of the fight, because I had Israel Vasquez in the first fight, but nobody wanted to bet me. Then when Marquez won, for some reason they didn't see what I saw, and I just watched the fight. I was like, did you see this fight? If Vasquez could breathe, there's no way Marquez fighting the way he's been fighting can beat him. He can't take his power. But that's why I have the vision, and I'm on a win streak, baby. I'm like 98%. So my prediction is you better go to the booth and try to get some money off of them. Them picks coming through, baby.